Hello, hope you guys are all having a good one. In today's video, I'm going to be doing another devlog, starting a new devlog, I guess series thing. Working on, as you can probably read, Prototype 3, we are going to be improving it. So, overall, this is probably our favorite project, I think, overall. Out of all the prototypes that we ended up doing, yeah, I think overall we ended up liking the prototype 3, the Mallory Curse, as it was mostly it was quite refined. There were a lot of features that we quite liked, and yeah. Now there were some holdbacks, there were some issues that weren't what'd you call? There's a lot of stuff that was half-baked because we thought it was a very iterative game. We kept adding stuff, we kept adding new features, changing features, stuff like that, as you should in a prototype anyway. But that came to a downside because there are a lot of features that arguably were half-baked or could put a bit more work into it and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, we've taken what we liked of it, what we didn't like, and we've tried to, I guess, overhaul the game completely. Now, we also overhauled our last game, so go check out those devlogs and stuff if you're interested in that. But this one's more, we're keeping a lot of what we already have. A lot of the features and fundamentals are quite very much the same. We're just implementing a completely new environment with some new features to what we thought we did well, very much like focusing on those horror aspects and that story aspect. There's a lot of stuff is like, you know, in this game, you're trying to find notes, you're trying to find these things to do and try and, you know, locate them and progress throughout the thing. But, you know, there's no real, there's not much to that. I'll quickly launch it up. This is, I believe, the most recent one. So we got controls, play. Pause it. We wanting to run. There we go. Now we're in. Awesome. So I can get my my thing up, and then we can find these here. These little notes. I don't remember. We were playing around with making them visible in the distance. Read it. Tells me where to go next, which should be in the maid's quarters. I mean, I know the game, right? So we can find that in the kitchen, because when I open up the map here, we can see kitchen to servants' quarters, which is exactly where we need to go. Go on here, grab the key, and then we move along. It tells me where next to go. There's a lot of things that I think needed to be improved, like trying to remember where each asset is. A bit tricky. Here's our enemy here. Doesn't like it when I have my torch up. I mean, the light lasts way too long. There's a couple of things that overall could be improved upon. And so we're trying to, you know, take what we liked of it. I think, you know, bear in mind, this was a week. We spent 1 week on this. So we're trying to do some pretty big changes. So we've got, sorry for it being super bright. I don't know if I can change it to be dark mode so well. But yeah, objective, we're going to be finding key items, so not going to be necessarily notes. Notes will be a feature, but not a main feature this time. Be collecting key items to effectively repair and then escape the ship, as there's a monster on it. So the lore being, you know, there's a fishing vessel that was sent into the Bermuda Triangle and a secret search of locating the monster without the majority of the crews know. So there's going to be sort of like... imagine if like the CIA sort of, you know, did like a sneaky thing where they didn't want anybody to know about it, so they had maybe 1 or 2 guys, you know, on a shipping vessel, but it's just a normal shipping one, and it's like, hey, go check out this place, you know, stuff like that. The storm happens, knocks the main character unconscious, who is taken to the medical bay to recover. An unknown time later, the crew... the crew during a storm managed to accidentally capture said monster while capturing fish, but before anybody could react, the monster escaped from the large net, escaped into the vent system, and then the comm system also went down due due to the storm. And yeah, basically everyone ends up dying, apart from one guy and yourself. And that's effectively like the premise of where everything starts off. We got key beats, which is, I guess, a bit of a spoiler, but player walks into the ship, hospital wing. They don't know what's happened and why they're there. Looks around, finds doctor's note describing what happens and where they are. Player goes down hallways to the ship communication system. We'll make it pretty obvious. Finds injured crewmate, the only one alive, who will explain the ship's comms are down and that you need 2 items, a fuse and a spare antenna. Player will first explore to level 1 to find the fuse, might be behind a locked door. We're just going to make it, padded out a bit. After getting the fuse, the player walks back into the comms room, slots the fuse back into the box, gaining access to the power and to the elevator. Use the elevator to go to level 2 to grab the antenna, and then from there they'll go back to level 1, because it'll be multi-level ship, right? Where they'll go find a key item, they'll try that, turns out the mic's broken, and yeah, you need to grab a key card, grab the mic, use the mic to contact for help, and then there'll be a rescue helicopter that comes and pick you up. Yeah, we got a bunch of key systems. We got some stuff getting done up, which I've got up here in Miro. So we got a heap of like mood board stuff, some designs and stuff that we're trying to go for. Yeah, getting some these like the key assets so that I'm going to be working on these later today. We got a bunch. Kill me! Oh my god. Stuff here. I see everybody's putting their names beside things. I should probably start doing that considering everyone else has. And then we got a bunch of code things that people are working on. At the end of the day, I think this is a pretty good start. We've started getting some things going. I think I opened up Maya. I was working on some kits that we can use. And then it was getting a bit confusing for me. As there was I haven't done these sorts of kits that we were doing really before. I've done it like once before for an assessment, but that assessment I didn't do too great in. So, not inherently my forte, and probably wasn't worth getting me to do that. So, offload that to somebody else. I'm ending up working on some key props and stuff like that. I'm so much faster at doing props. So we got these here. I mean, it was coming along. We got some corridor. I ended up making a couple. Oops, that's my Boolean. Another corridor. What is going on? For some reason, the materials are unlinked themselves. So that's like an end corridor. And then we got like a just an inherent corridor. And these are pretty good because you can just like control D. And then just place them like that and they match up well. That's what we're playing with. Will make the game significantly quicker and easier to make. But yeah, I don't know. These sorts of things are not too bad, but I mean, it offloads some things, and then, trying to keep things consistent is where the issues kind of come in. Like, once I was struggling with, for example, here, I'd obviously I've got a T intersection sort of here, but then you'd also want one with just a door on this side, just a door on this side, which is probably fine to make because you can just merge these back together, and then getting another one here, and then we're wanting, our lead was wanting these to be starting to extrude these, and then, oh no, it was just a bit of a communication error, I think, but oh well. I could probably do some smoothing, I just realized there. Also, another key thing that I've been focusing on for these, albeit not really working on these too much anymore, we've got some good UVs going in. So this time is kind of like, oh my god, that performance is terrible. This is why I hate the UV editor, it's just so bad. It just fucks everything up. Now my Maya performance is too. Oh wow. There we go, it's fixed itself now. But yeah, another key thing that we're focusing on this time, which we haven't really done too much of, is focusing on texel density. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have probably, I'd hope a lot of you guys have been, you know, doing a bit of texel density related things, but now we are like, you know, keeping a consistent texel density. So, for example, we're working at pretty much just a bit over 200 at 2048, that being per centimeter. So 200 texels per centimeter, which is pretty, you know, that's alright, that's what we're working with. And so we're trying to stay consistent. I was actually asking some of the guys, because I very much am a user of Rhizome, wondering how to keep, I was running into this issue. I believe there's a fix, I just need to learn it. But if I set the texel density to, I believe for us it's 400, because this is working by 1024. So we're doing props being 1024 at 400, setting the texel density. Hold on, I'll be right back. Sweet, so just doing some playing around, but yeah, keeping a consistent texel density while also packing obviously changes the texel density, so keeping that consistent can be, you know, a bit of a process. So something interesting to think about. But yeah, moving along, I can show off what we have been working on. Got some, where are we? Loaded in. Getting some models going in here. So there's a container. Container no lock. Awesome. And we got a locked one here as well. So I've got, I think I'm working with 2 different texture color and setups effectively for both of these. So 4 effectively different models. There's 2 models, but 4 different textures. So heaps that we can play around with. Making sure that we just got heaps of stuff we can go with. And as you can see here, we're getting enemy in. So we've implemented his, I guess, tendrils latch onto objects, so we'll have that going around when he goes through corridors, which we had been, but are gone. I'll quickly see if I can find it. Sweet, so it turns out we didn't actually have any, but for example, it would look like this. I haven't set up the collisions or anything, but yeah, that's sort of an example. And I do not believe that I have the map. I'll go see if I can find the map. Sweet, so this is an example of potentially all rooms. Actually, I haven't actually seen this before. I was just looking for some water, but I guess I've must be elsewhere. Anyway, she hang out. So we'll have a bunch of stuff here effectively that we want to be plotting up. There's quite a bit of stuff actually. Left, left, left. Captain's Quarters Bridge. These may be stairs, I believe. But yeah, should be pretty interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at, what we're working on, and hope you guys will have a good one. And yeah, catch y'alls.